Good morning, second grade. Today is Thursday, May 14th. And today for reading, I have a story I'm going to read to you. And that story is going to help you learn the difference between facts and opinions. That's our skill for today, recognizing facts and opinions. And you know what facts are? You know, facts are something that can be proven to be true. It's proven to be true. It's known to be true. Like all the things we learned about ants. Scientists studied ants and they learned all the things that are true about ants and then taught you that information through that book. So facts, remember, can be proven. They're known to be true. An opinion is someone's view on something or their judgment of it. And so facts and opinions, you could kind of think of those as opposites in a way. An opinion can't be proven because it's what somebody thinks. It's their view. For example, maybe I say the best pizza is taco pizza. That's my opinion. That's not a fact. That's just my view about something. A fact, remember, can be proven. So, the story I'm going to read to you today to help you understand that concept is called Mr. Fact and Miss Opinion. I think I'll come up to the camera and help you see the story a little bit better. Mr. Fact was a man of good sense who was simple and often quite tense. That means he wasn't very relaxed. He lived on a road that was winding and red with his dog Peanut, who liked to play dead. In the house next to his, which was bright green and black, lived a woman of 20 who would yickety-yak. Over all conversations, she took dominion. Her name finally suits her. She's Miss Opinion. There she is. Remember, Mr. Fact and Miss Opinion. When out and about on a fine sunny day, she saw her neighbor across the way. "Good morning," she said, full of spirit and glee. "A morning it is, but that's all that it be." So he just states the facts. Miss Opinion says, "Why, Mr. Fact, has your day begun sour? The sun's been up for only 1 hour." And he says, "The sun is up, the sky colors blue. My day's not gone sour. I just say what is true." He's Mr. Fact. He only says what is true. "Say what is true. I suppose that is wise. But what about beyond what you see with your eyes?" "No one needs to know what's beyond what I see. I share facts, only facts, and that simply is me." Beyond what he saw, Mr. Fact knew not, for he really was never subjective. His opinion was rare, and his thoughts were unshared. He preferred to always be objective. Now, there's some kind of hard words on this page. Someone who is objective does not let their views influence what they're saying. So that means sticking to the facts. If you are subjective, then you're like Miss Opinion, and you think about your views on something. Miss Opinion then replied in good nature, "I'm glad to hear your morning's just fine. If it suits you tonight, would you join me to dine?" Now, did you notice something about this book? Not only is it about facts and opinions, but it also rhymes. You see, Miss Opinion thought, her neighbor's words dreadful. How sad it must be to restrict one's thoughts to actuality. That means facts. She'd show him the way to share his mind. She'd give him an earful and food that's sublime. That means she's going to give him a good meal. "I suppose I could," he said happily, for eating alone was not his cup of tea. "When shall I come? Say 6 or 7? I'll start cooking at 6. So bring yourself over at 7-Eleven. Hey, that goes with what we've been learning about telling time. Do you see there's no numbers on that clock? But you could memorize after 6 down here would be the 7. So that's 7-11. Oh, we'll practice that in a little bit. So there she's cooking. When evening came, there was no time to waste. Miss Opinion was bustling all over the place. She had it all planned how she'd help Mr. Fact. She'd give him a meal that would make him snap. No words could express how good her food tasted. His feelings inside must come out and be stated. So she wants him to give his feelings about something and not just facts. "Hello," she exclaimed as she opened the door. "Please come on in. The food's on the table." "Why, thank you," he said. "Am I smelling basil?" "Yes, basil soup and rosemary bread, the best in the county, or so it's been said." So if it's the best in the county, is that someone's opinion or is that a fact? To say something is the best gives an opinion. "I have quite a gift," Miss Opinion continued. "My mom's recipes were left to me, but I've changed them a bit so they're more savory." That means tasty. With that, Mr. Fact raised his spoon to his lips. He slurped up a mouthful so much that it dripped from his beard to his bowl, where he'd surely want more. It splashed with a blop and plopped on the floor. With a gulp and a grin, he picked up his bread and bit off the corner. His eyes lit up. His cheeks became plump. Miss Opinion could see her food won him. So let's see, is he going to tell his feelings or only facts? "Miss Opinion," he said with exuberant glee. That means he's really happy. "I'm so glad you've asked me to dine. This food you've made is absolutely divine." Ooh, he gave his opinion. "The bread, so tasty, delectable, superb. The soup, so zesty, full of fine herbs." He's not staying Mr. Fact now. "Oh, I'm so glad," Miss Opinion replied. "It fills me with joy to hear you speak your mind. I knew there were more than just facts up in there," she said as she pointed at him with great flair. Mr. Fact was inspired to think beyond facts, which softened his heart and helped him relax. See, he wasn't very relaxed when all he would do is say the facts. It wasn't long before he could say, "What a beautiful, lovely, fantastical day." His words now expressed what he felt and could see. He could give his opinion, and that made him feel free. So he felt good being able to give his opinion. I hope you like that story. And we are going to practice recognizing facts and opinions. So I'll put the work under the camera for you. We'll do that next, and we'll do some math. But I'm going to tell you, I miss you very much, and I love you. And that's a fact. I sure hoped you liked that story about Mr. Fact and Miss Opinion. So let's review this concept. A fact is a statement that is true. A fact can be tested and proven. And here are some examples of facts. The sun is hot. That can be tested and proven. B is the second letter of the alphabet. We can prove that. Friday is the day after Thursday. And we know that to be true. So those are all facts. Remember that an opinion is someone's feelings or beliefs about a topic. An opinion cannot be proven true or false. It cannot be proven false either. It's just the way that someone feels. Now here are some key words associated with opinions. So if you see one of these, you can think, ding, 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 that's an opinion. Believe. Like, I believe red is the prettiest color. That's an opinion. Or if you see I think, or if you see the word should, those are all clues that the statement is an opinion. So let's read a paragraph and practice the skill together before I tell you your assignment for today. We're going to read a paragraph about some really cool dolls called nesting dolls. Maybe you've seen some of these before. In fact, I have one, a set of nesting dolls. I'm going to give my opinion. I think they are pretty neat. That's my opinion. But let's read about nesting dolls. You can read with me. Nesting dolls are sets of wooden dolls. I think they are very cute. You twist open each doll to find another, smaller doll inside. These dolls were first made in Russia in 1890. Today, Major League Baseball teams are handing out these dolls. They are called stackable stars. Each doll is painted to look like a player on the team. Many fans collect the dolls. So referring back to that paragraph, let's see if we can answer these questions. These are all words that are in the paragraph. The first sentence is, I think they are cute. Now you have to write either fact or opinion next to each sentence. Now look at the clue. Ding, 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 the word think. Think tells you that it is, do you know the answer? Opinion. Now it says, today Major League Baseball teams are handing out these dolls. Is that what someone thinks, or can that be proven? That can be proven, so it is a fact. Many fans collect the dolls. Is that just what someone thinks, or can it be proven? And you could prove that many fans collect the dolls, so that is also a fact. Now the directions ask you to write another fact from the paragraph. So I'm going to look up here, and I think this is kind of interesting that these dolls were first made in Russia in 1890. So if I was doing that page, then I would underline that sentence and write it right down here. And I'll look up above and make sure I remember the capital letter and the period at the end. So you are going to do something very similar to that. Let's look on your matrix. It says, complete pages 7 and 8 in your reading packet and upload to Seesaw if you can. So like I've been doing almost every day, I made an activity on Seesaw. So click on activity first and then find fact and opinion 5-14 and click add response. And you're going to have to make 2 separate entries again, just like you did yesterday, because these are copied in your reading packet and they are on each side back to back. So you will need to make 2 separate entries, and that's okay. I want to see both of the pages that you do. So you're going to read Big Cat first, and I will read it for you, and then you do the work on your own. There's a picture. It says Big Cat. The jaguar is one of the 4 big cats. The others are lions, tigers, and leopards. Jaguars live in warm climates in Latin America. They are the most beautiful of all wild cats. A jaguar has a big head and a strong jaw. Its paws and claws are huge. The jaguar is a silent and deadly hunter. However, it rarely attacks people. The jaguar spends most of its time alone and even stays away from other jaguars. So down here, you're going to write either fact or opinion. The jaguar is one of the 4 big cats. Jaguars live in warm climates in Latin America, and they are the most beautiful of all wild cats. And then look up here and write one more fact from the paragraph. You do that on your own later. I'm going to read this paragraph to you now. It is called In the Shell. Can you tell that the second grade teachers went hunting for some interesting paragraphs to help you practice these skills? We worked hard to try to make your distance learning fun as well as interesting and just great learning experiences for you. In the shell. When a chick is in its shell, it needs air to breathe. The air seeps through tiny holes in the shell. Then the air passes through a thin skin inside the shell. Blood vessels carry the air to the chick. At one end of the shell is an air bubble. When the chick is ready to hatch, it pops this bubble. Then it practices using its lungs to breathe. Chicks look funny when they hatch. Okay, so some facts and some opinions in there. Okay, do this on your own later, but I will read it for you now. A, you're going to write fact or opinion next to each sentence. A, the air seeps through tiny holes in the shell. B, blood vessels carry the air to the chick. C, chicks look funny when they hatch. And then go up and find another fact from the paragraph. Remember to write it neatly, spell it correctly since it's right up above. Use a capital letter and a period. So 2 separate entries, one for page 7 and one for page 8 on Seesaw today, please. Okay, now I would like you to go get your math packet. And we are going to begin by correcting the work from yesterday. Yesterday, you were asked to do 595 to 596 on your own. And let's go through the answers. We go through these rather quickly because you can just look at your paper and make sure yours matches mine. Down here, you had to draw the hands on the clock. Now, remember what Mrs. Mickelson said. The minute hand goes right through that number. Don't have it pointing way back here. Have it all the way through the number, and then the arrows touch the outside of the clock. Same here and here. And here you should have your hour hand only about halfway to the 5. Definitely not touching the 5 because it's the short hour hand. Pointing to the 10 for 10 o'clock, it's the short hour hand. Make sure it's short. Make sure you have written 10 o'clock correctly. And same with 3 o'clock. Short hour hand, long minute hand, right through the number. So check yours. When we go on to the back, if Evan gets home 1 hour later than Colin, he gets home at 4 o'clock. If Mark eats a snack 2 hours before his practice starts at 4, he eats a snack at 2 o'clock. And the brain builder, even though it's a brain builder, it wasn't very hard. You had to count 4 hours before 12 o'clock. So 4 hours before 12 o'clock would be 8 o'clock. So you could do 12 minus 4 is 8. Or you could count up from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you should have made your clocks at 8 o'clock. Okay, here's your right math. See if you have an answer that is close to mine. What time is it when the hour hand is on 5 and the minute hand is on 12? How do you know? You should say it is 5 o'clock. I know because the hour hand tells the hour, and when the minute hand is on 12, it is o'clock. Remember, anytime the minute hand is on 12, like here and here, that means it is on the hour, and you would say o'clock. Okay, now, since we know how to tell time to the hour, we're going to take the next step and practice telling time to a half hour. Now, I think you learned this in first grade. This is going to be pretty easy. Now, if it is 7 o'clock, the clock looks exactly like this. Then if it is 7:30, let's count by 5. 7:05, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. When it is 7:30, your hour hand should be right in between the 7 and the 8. Remember, as the minute hand moves, the hour hand also moves, but so slowly. When the minute hand goes all the way around the clock, the hour hand only moves from 1 hour to the next. Remember that? So when it is on the half hour, we say 30. So this time would be 7:30. We always stop and name the hour hand first. Remember, the hour hand is red. Think of a stop sign being red. So always stop and name the hour first. Okay, let me do another one. See if you can figure this one out. Figure out what time that clock says. We're going to stop and name the hour hand first. Now, it's not right on a number, but we can't say 11 yet, even though it's kind of pointing that way. We can only say the number that it's on or past, and it's past the 10. So we're going to stop and name the hour and say 10. And name your minute. Remember, the minute hand is blue. You can look at your blue minutes, and right there it says 30. So this clock says 10:30. Let's do another one. Okay. Can you figure this time out on the clock? Did you say 2:30? Remember my joke about that? What's the best time to go to the dentist? Tooth hurty. Get it? Tooth hurty. Remember me saying that one in school? Oh, I hope you're laughing. I missed your laughter. So 2:30. Stop and name the hour hand first. It's past the 2. The minute hand is on the 30. It's on the 6, so 30 minutes past. Okay, so I want you to think about how a whole hour has 60 minutes. So when the minute hand has gone halfway around the clock, it is now half past the hour that it was just on. So now it's 11 o'clock, but when the minute hand moves down here, it's gone halfway around. So we can call that half past 11. So if your hour hand is here, your minute hand is here, it's 1 o'clock. As the minute hand moves, the hour hand moves very slowly. Now we can say it is 1:30, or we could say half past 1. What time would this be? 3:30 or half past 3. So get out your math packet. I guess you already have it out. Find page 599. Let's do Math in My World together. We have a clock here ready to go. We are going to use this clock right here to show 5 o'clock. And now we are going to draw half past 5 on our clock. So you know, if it's half past 5, our minute hand for half past has to be on the 6, right? So we're going to draw that minute hand, draw it with me, go all the way. Should I stop yet? No. Should I stop yet? No. What did I teach you? Right through that number all the way to the outside of the clock. So draw right through the 6, make your arrows, or your arrow to point. The point is here, and these go back. So that is going to be half past for your minutes. It's half past 5, so we're going to make our hour hand only go about halfway, and it's like right in between the 5 and the 6. So now the clock reads half past 5. Make yours match mine, please. Remember the minute hand right through the number. Hour hand is short. Okay, let's read the top together. This just repeats what I already taught you. Read with me. You can show time to the half hour. 1 half hour is 30 minutes. We know a half hour is 30 minutes because a whole hour is 60 minutes. These clocks show half past 2. So we could count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Remember, each of these little humps here have 5 minutes in between. You could count those ticks, but it's easier just to count by 5s. So our hand points between the 2 and the 3, because remember that hour hand in a whole hour is going to move from the 2 to 3, but because the minute hand has gone halfway, The hour hand has gone halfway between the 2 and the 3. The hour hand points between 2 and 3. The minute hand points to 6. Here's a helpful hint. The hour hand moves halfway to the next number as a half hour passes. You heard me tell you that. Here's another way to write 2:30 in digital form. 2, you have your 2 dots, and 30. It is 2:30. So this is what you have to do. Oh my goodness, you're probably thinking, why isn't Mrs. Mickelson making me work harder? Well, prove that you know how to do this in 3 problems, and I'll know that you already know it. So write the time here, half past, put the number there. If you can't remember, look up here or look on the front or watch my video again. Write the time here, half past, put the number. Same with number 3. Now, talk math. Say this to someone in your family. It is 8:30. Explain what half past means. So talk to someone in your family about that. And I hope you have a terrific Thursday. And tomorrow I'll be back and we're going to talk about reading a Scholastic News. Have a great day. Bye.